shit hot. Oh, I'ma light the shit up. Yeah, I'ma make the shit hot. Oh, I'ma light the shit up.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, I'm back finally. It's been a long process, no excuses. I lost the urge to do it because everyone else who I knew was telling me to do it, that you have to do it. And once something's getting forced on you to do it, just becomes like a chore, and I just didn't want to do it. It was becoming pointless. I thought about deleting the channel. It went from when I talk to people that ask how I am to, oh, have you made any videos? Oh, have you done this? Have you done that? It just got really stupid, and I just started to hate making YouTube videos, if I'm honest. But I got through that today. Today I was just chatting to my friend, and instead of telling me to do videos, he just said blah blah, it's up to you. I just enjoy your videos, and I think other people do, and all that. But he didn't tell me go make videos now. He just said just do it when you want to do it. Just go with the flow, and that works for me. I'm just gonna go with the flow of how I feel when I make videos. But other than this little heart to heart, I'm back. I'm gonna try to do daily because I'm literally about to go into summer. Next week is my last week of school and I'm in summer holidays, and I'm trying to do daily videos every single day. That's daily videos for 6 weeks. Someone do the maths. I'll do it. I messed up. What is... Oh, I can't be bothered. What is 7 times 6? That's 42 videos in a row. Anyway, let's get into this. This is a new Whatif, and there's going to be another one with it. This is, what if Deku had a virtual assistant Quirk? And when I mean this, I mean like Great Sage from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It's going to be insanely overpowered. But I'm not going to give you too much explanation. Let's just jump into this. We begin our story on a very normal, not anything out of the ordinary. It was just a mother in hospital giving birth to a boy. But little did anyone in this hospital room know this boy was going to change the world. When this child was born, he had light green hair and a dark green eyes, and his name was Zuko Midoriya. But this is not what you're expecting. In this world, there's people who can use special abilities known as Quirks, which allows them to use the genetic information in their DNA, giving them access to superpowers. However, this young man was not an ordinary person, even by their standards. His quirk was something even the gods couldn't attain, no matter how hard they tried. And this was a virtual assistant. You guys name it down below what you want the virtual assistant's name to be. But no one had known this, except for this kid had been born with a strange pattern in his eye. And when his emotions would go out of control, his eyes would go red, and his mother even at one point saw that once his emotions spiraled, his eyes also became purple. But this has only happened once, and it was when Izuku's father came home drunk and attempted to hit his mother. Inko does not remember what happened that night, except that Izuku started crying and his eyes turned purple, and his father was never to be seen again. But let's get off this heavy clouded situation. We go to Izuku Midoriya, who is now in middle school. Actually, not in middle school. He is now roughly about the age of 4, just newly turned 4. It's actually his birthday, and his mother was worried as all the other kids had started awakening their quirks at the age of 3, and he was, by everyone's standards, a late bloomer. So they went to the doctors, and while Zuko was in the back of the car, he was talking to his imaginary friend. His mother always played this off as it's normal for kids their age, but these conversations, since they started, something in Izuku had changed. He started having this imaginary friend on his 3rd birthday, which his mother thought was weird, and it gave her hope for a quirk, but nothing actually ever changed. so she didn't bother investigating it. But now that these conversations become more converse, Izuku Midoriya can hold a conversation easily with any adult. He can talk science, maths, and he's at the age of 4. On other things, Deku's understanding of how the body, how quirks work, is unparalleled. And there's been cases where students report Deku easily copying someone's quirk, but they've never been able to do it again, so they play it off as they just imagined it. But now we get to the doctors. When the doctors see Izuku Midoriya, they smile and welcome him in. They ask his mother what's his name and age, but to their surprise, Izuku Midoriya answered this easily. And the doctors straight away think that Deku has an I'm just going to call him Deku, guys. They straight away believe that Deku has an intelligence quirk. So they get testing. But what they find is that Deku has a suppressed quirk, and it's insanely powerful even though suppressed. That's why it's leaking through, and the person Deku's talking to is actually his quirk. It's not entirely sentient. It's more like servant and master, with the quirk being the servant and Deku being the master. Inko Midoriya is told by the doctors that Deku's quirk will continue to go stronger and stronger until the age of 13 it should fully unlock itself. And with that, Inko smiles, knowing that her boy is going to have a bright future. As time went on, we're going to have a 2-year time skip. As time went on, Deku changed. He got stronger, and it seemed like he could make requests for the person he's talking to. But it always seemed like there would be blank responses, until one day his eyes lit up blue, and we jump into Izuku Midoriya's mind. Oh, what? Okay, I don't like this title for story. I'm just going to go back to how I used to. Deku's quirk awakens fully, a lot earlier than it was meant to, and he gets sucked into his mind. Tell me, you guys comment down below which one you prefer, the way I was telling on the story before or this. Anyway, Deku's quirk awakened far earlier than it should have, and he got sucked into his mind. Or at least not his mind, of subconsciousness. And he said, "Hello, what's going on?" And the only reply he got was,
"Hello, Izuku Midoriya. I am your virtual assistant. Anything you may need or actually earn for, just ask and it shall be yours. The options are unlimited."
And Deku just thought, wow, so this is my quirk. And he asks the mysterious thing what he should call it, and you guys are giving it a name down below. Deku spent hours, days even, inside the subconsciousness, but in the outside world, it was mere seconds. He understood his power more and more. And the first thing he did was something he always wanted to do ever since he understood the human biology, was change his DNA. He wanted to become the perfect human. And that's what he did. But he found that his body on its own was different. It was far superior to anything even he could guess in the universe. Deku expected if he could perfect his DNA, he could lift a car. But with this, it seems like Deku could easily blow away a skyscraper, and that's not even maxing it out. Deku maxes everything out, changing his body in ways that weren't imagined, unlocking powers that he didn't even think would happen. He can now use 100, and he can use all of his brain and more. He can make things float just on an urge. It's natural to him, as if he was closing his hand or opening it. And then finally it comes. Deku's mind thinks back to Bakugo, who he calls Karchan, and says, "Can you give me a quirk like Karchan's?"
"Yes, of course, Master, I can. I believe that's the boy with the explosion quirk. Alright, I will give you an altered version."
Deku feels power surge into his body as he comes back into the real world. He pops an explosion in the sand, but to his surprise, the flames was a dark blacky red, and he could feel the heat. His room literally melted, and he asked the virtual assistant for help. And as soon as he did that, the entire room around him reversed. Deku's starting to finally grasp the true power of what he holds. Something that can manipulate time on a whim. Something that can create and copy quirks. If anyone knew that Deku's true power, he would probably be hunted and experimented on. At least this is what he thought. Remember, no matter how smart he is, he's still a child. So he kept the secret, learning more and more about his power until he was in middle school. Deku showed us a few quirks. He got known as the multi-quirk boy, and Bakugo respected him insanely. Oh, that was just an air freshener, guys. And Deku created a few. The ones he created was something called Speed Force. It allowed him to move faster than time itself. And it encased him in lightning, which actually protected him. Next was, of course, Bakugo's explosions and perfect flame control. There was others, such as being able to absorb the world energy, or just basic, or something that he created himself based off an anime he watched. He created Ki and Chakra. With this, Deku was unparalleled in strength, at least by his age. And as time went on, Deku suddenly realised how much of a monster he was. We'll time skip to the last day. Bakugo's being his usual self, except he never dares step towards Deku. But something changed. It's his last day. He seems to have got cocky. No matter how much he respected him, he wanted to fight. And he challenged Deku. Deku, with a smirk on his face, had been waiting for this for years, and eagerly accepted. Well, they went outside, and Deku created some sort of barrier that shot out between them. And he said, "This is another one of my quirks. It's quite useful. Anything in this barrier that happens will be automatically reversed once it's destroyed. You can even die in it, and once the barrier is removed, it will revert." And Bakugo thinks, so I can go all out with no regrets. And they both smile. Bakugo charges at Deku with his full power, sending a massive explosion at Deku. Deku tanks it with no damage done. Bakugo's shocked, and he attempts to go for another blow. But Deku moves at speed faster than Bakugo can perceive, and kicks him hard in his chest. Everyone who was watching this fight, including the teacher, it was an loud fight, heard a crack, and Bakugo got sent back literally screaming. He was holding his chest in agony as he literally vomited up blood. He didn't expect Deku to go wild like this, and then he remembers, wait, he can kill me. And Deku launches his own explosion, literally burning up half of Bakugo's body. Runs at him and pummels him into the ground, and picks up his hand again, and does a weird hand sign that barely anyone can see, as it was done at super speed. And the clouds fall from the sky into Deku's hands, and I don't mean lightning, I mean literal clouds. And as this happens, it starts flashing different colours, as if fire, water, earth, lightning, they all start absorbing into Deku's hand. And he tells Bakugo, think of this as a bit of payback for everyone you've ever bullied. As Deku being insanely intelligent, his admiration for Bakugo slowly disappeared, and it actually becomes something of disgust. Watching Bakugo bully everyone for years made Deku think of him less as a Kachan and more of a bully, of what he really is. And he says in a deep voice, actually, you know what, let's get the voice changer for it. And he says in a deep voice,
"This is what it feels like to be pummeled, to be bullied, to be looked down upon. Until you can fix yourself and become the true hero I know you can be. Don't consider me your friend, don't consider me your rival. Consider me someone who is disgusted with you."
And with these words, Bakugo's mind just froze. What? But he thought him and Deku were best friends. And then Deku uses a quirk that he has to force all the flashbacks of Bakugo bullying people, and actually switched it to where he was bullying himself. He felt all the pain he inflicted into others and screamed. And at that time, Deku smashed his hand down, ripping through Bakugo's chest, and everything around just shattered. And everyone was shocked there in horror, until they remembered that Deku can remove the barrier, which he did, and Bakugo and everything else around was restored. Bakugo woke up gasping for air, remembering his death, and looking at Deku with not hate, not fear, and admiration. He respected Deku, he respected his power, his ideology. He was a true hero, and Bakugo now was going to change. As time went on, Deku became well known as a kid, as the Dream Kid, the Golden Boy. He had multiple quirks which could easily put him in a top 20 hero rank if trained. And many people wanted to take him under his wing, but Deku always declined. The only master he needed, or teacher I say, was the virtual assistant. And Deku had gotten quite a grasp of this. This virtual assistant was not anything normal. It can break reality itself. It can create something out of nothing. It can literally distort reality. It can break the universe, the fabric of the universe. But he kept this a secret to himself, as the virtual assistant itself did not even know it could do that, as it learns as it goes on. And as Deku's walking, he gets attacked by a sludge villain. And he thinks, you know what? Come on then. He lets the villain hit him and gets sucked into it. And the slime villain starts laughing. Ha ha, finally, a suitable host. With this, I'll be able to get away from him. And Deku, who doesn't need oxygen, he's the perfect human, starts laughing inside and says, you really chose the wrong kid to do this to. Lightning surrounds him and the slime villain screams in pain, trying to get away. But it's like as if gravity's pulling it back towards Deku, making him suffer. Deku distorts the slime villain body and compresses it into a ball. And he could feel the life energy of the slime villain in his hand. And Deku's consciousness, his morals went blank. It's as if the virtual assistant flipped the switch in his head, where killing, where taking what isn't yours became perfectly normal. And he just closed his hand, absorbing the slime villain. His energy and life essence surged through Deku. He's never felt this amazing, this powerful. And suddenly he understood everything about the slime villain, his past, his future. And he could straight away use his quirk. He turned his arm into slime. But this slime was a different colour. It was an astral blue. And that's when All Might landed, and he was about to attack Deku till he saw the colour of the slime and thought, oh sorry. And then he recognised his face and said, wait, you're the Golden Boy. That's Deku's nickname. And Deku's like, yeah, you caught me. And he asked where the slime villain went, and Deku said that the slime villain attacked him, and he used a quirk to read All Might's mind, learnt of all for one, and said he had multiple quirks which are strange to me, and said something about being underling of someone called All for One, and that gave one of my abilities that allow me to sense the danger of such words activate, and I could sense a huge danger, so I wiped him out. All Might went silent. Such a young kid, killing no problem. That's unheard of. And All Might just stood there frozen and lifted up his arm, going towards Deku. And Deku felt a malevolent force coming from All Might. But we're going to leave it there, guys. Hope you enjoy. If you did not like the storytelling, just tell me. No hard feelings. If you do like it, I'll stick by it. But yeah, I'm back, guys. And hope you enjoy it. Peace out, guys. Love. Oh yeah. Oopsie. Like goal. 50 likes. It's a load thing. You can hit it. Anyway, you guys. Love. Hope you enjoy. Peace out. And subscribe. Bye.